welcome to the ShowRatings.tv Pilot Roundtable, a Southgate Media Group podcast. I'm your host, Kyle Tremblay, and I'm the editor-in-chief of the television website ShowRatings.tv, where you can read reviews of your favorite TV shows and rate and discuss them yourself. This is a special episode of the Pilot Roundtable because it's not devoted to one show in particular. Upfronts Week recently occurred, as you might know, where every network released its schedule for the 2014-2015 TV season. So this being the Pilot Roundtable, we're going to go through all the new shows, network by network, and give you our thoughts on what looks promising and what looks like mixology. So here to help me wade through the new shows on ABC. She's a staff writer for ShowRatings.tv who covers Once Upon a Time, Under the Dome, and writes a weekly column called Are You Serious? She is as hopelessly addicted to The Bachelorette as I am. Olivia Richards, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, happy to be here.
Excellent. Thank you so much for being our first special guest for this series that we're doing.
Ooh, it sounds so much fun.
I know. It's like Under the Dome. It's a special event.
Special episode.
Yeah. So, ABC in general, the network right now, what are you watching on ABC? Just Once Upon a Time or anything else?
At the moment, Once Upon a Time kind of took over my life because that show is like 12 series in one, and you kind of get sucked up into it, and oh my gosh, no. But yeah, Once Upon a Time was like my one big ABC show.
Yeah, I think by the end of the season, your reviews of Once Upon a Time were like encroaching upon 3,000 words. Like
it was painful. That was 2 hours that I sat, and that took me like 3 hours to write that review, and I finally finished, and I just went downstairs and like grabbed myself a drink and just sat down and like, you know, iced my hand.
Who knew that fairy tales could do such a thing? It's really...
God, right? They have to warn you. They should put a warning label on that show.
Don't write about this show under any circumstances.
just watch it. Just watch it alone and just cry.
It. Yes, as is the preferred method of watching Under the Dome, which is, well, of course, that's crying laughing, but still.
It's just unintentional comedy.
Yes. All right. So ABC is the fourth place network by, I think, every measure. It is pretty much a disaster. It introduced the aforementioned mixology last season. So,
I don't
yeah.
want to talk about it.
No, we won't. we won't discuss. We're going to devote this podcast to Markel, not mixology.
Yes. Perfect.
So ABC, maybe not surprisingly, is introducing a whopping 12 new shows this coming season, which I believe is the most out of any network.
It's quite a list.
Yeah, it's quite a list, and we are going to go through all of them right now. So are you ready?
I'm cracking my knuckles. We're getting down, pulling up my sleeves.
This is
right into this.
This is like a fight scene in Anchorman. Like we're brandishing our crowbars.
Right, I just pulled out my grenade. We're good.
I've got my trident.
Yeah.
So we should note that we are about to judge all these new shows, despite having not seen them. We have read the descriptions, we have read the casts, and we have watched whatever clips have been posted online. So take all these judgments with a grain of salt. But in that spirit, we're not going to judge them using our traditional thumbs up or thumbs down. We're instead going to use a 3-point scale of will watch, might watch, or avoiding like the plague. So that's how we're going to go through and judge these. We'll talk for a few minutes about each one and then give you our own ratings. So here we go. Our first pilot of the year is Selfie.
I'm already sold on the name.
Oh yeah, instantly.
Just the name alone got me.
Instantly in. ABC describes Selfie as Eliza Dooley has 260,000 followers who hang on to her every post, tweet, and selfie, of course. But one lonely day, she has a revelation. Being friended is not the same as having actual friends. She asks marketing guru Henry to rebrand her self-obsessed reputation and teach her how to connect. It stars Karen Gillian and John Cho, who are both great.
Yes.
Olivia, what do you think of this pilot?
Oh, I watched one of the clips, and
Yeah.
I mean, I'm already sold on it because it was based off of My Fair Lady, so I like that they're kind of doing a fresh spin on that, and I love Karen Gillian, and I love John Cho, so I think they're going to bring something really fresh and interesting. I think it's going to depend on how the show is written for me, because I'm already sold on the cast.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of want to see it like not try too hard and not try to force the comedy. That's like my biggest thing when it comes to some of these shows is that they try so hard to be fresh and funny. And it's like you can
Yes.
tell that it's like these writers are, like trying to use this big whiteboard and like, trying to get all of this going and it's like you don't have to force it. So I'm
Yeah.
hoping it's going to be good.
Yeah. The name worried me, and it still worries me. The cast sort of turned me around. I was like, okay, this might be better than I think it's going to be. And then I watched the clip that ABC posted, and I was like, oh no. Here we go. Because
Music.
this is the traditional ABC thing where they're really trying to capitalize on popular culture and like what's hip right now.
Yeah.
But just a show called Selfie feels like it's from like 2009 to me. Like that would have been cool in 2009, and now it's like it just it seems like it's unironically trying to co-opt some pop culture, but it seems so tone deaf to me. And that clip was, oh boy. And so I am very worried about Selfie. I despite the cast, people who I really like, I don't think this is going to go well. I'll say that
Just watch
much.
him like behind a pillow, just like be ducking behind your couch.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, obviously, for comedies tend to start slow anyway. Even the best comedies often have rough first few episodes,
Definitely.
and so any comedy that we're talking about, obviously, almost the cast is more important than what we see from the clip, and so I think if Selfie is going to work, it'll have to work because of the charm of Karen Gillan. Um, Otherwise, I don't like anything about this. So, on our scale of will watch, might watch, or avoiding like the plague, Olivia, where do you stand on Selfie?
I am a might watch.
Okay. I am waffling between might watch and avoiding like the plague, and I'm gonna go with avoiding like the plague right off the bat. I just if this was on like NBC, I would probably be a might watch, but I don't trust ABC even a little bit with a show called Selfie.
Yeah, it's precarious.
Yes. Okay. Next one is a pilot that I am excited about in a very macabre way. Manhattan Love Story. Um, Described by ABC as "Have you ever wondered what your date was thinking?" and then a bunch of other jargon. Olivia, what do you think of Manhattan Love Story?
This was one of the one where it had ABC written all over it.
Yeah.
Like if a pilot could scream very loudly, like and just be branded right off the bat, then this one was definitely it. And I like Annalee Tipton. I was a big America's Next Top Model fan, so for fans of that show, you'll know her. But I think this is one of their more like stereotypical like go-to safe zone sort of things. So I'm kind of iffy on it. Like I want to see it do well, but at the same time, I'm not going to be completely surprised if it turns out to just be kind of like eh.
I'll tell you right now, from the 2-minute preview clip they posted, in which the two main characters go on a date with one another, and you can hear what they're thinking, this to me feels like the sequel to Mixology.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, please don't do it. Don't do what I think you're about to do, but you're probably going to.
There was a guys love boobs joke in there that was right out of the Mixology playbook. The
camera did the zoom in, and I was like, crap.
It zoomed in on her chest, and he was like, "Oh, she can't see me." She's staring at her chest, and then it cuts to her, and she's like, "He's staring at my chest." Like, oh my gosh, no!
You're doing it. It's happening.
This is the Mixology show, just in a different format. And so yeah, I am avoiding this like the plague. This is my big avoid on ABC.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with you on that one because yeah.
This looks horrible. It looks like a miscalculation.
An unmitigated disaster.
I hope it gets better from here because this is already a dark podcast.
We're working our way. We have like 7 more shows to go. So it's really good.
We're going through these in the order that ABC posted them, and to be quite honest, they should not have led with Selfie and Mixology.
No.
And Manhattan Love Story.
Maybe you should just put that in parentheses next to it. Like
I'm gonna call it Mixology Love Story. All right. Next up, we're gonna get to dramas because we had so much success in comedies. Forever. described by ABC as Dr. Henry Morgan, New York City's star medical examiner. Are there star medical examiners in the real world? Is that a thing?
Yes, of course. I thought you've heard of some of them.
I feel like that's a TV thing. But he has a secret. He doesn't just study the dead to solve criminal cases, he does it to solve the mystery that has eluded him for 200 years, the answer to his own inexplicable immortality.
I'm already dying. Are you sure? Wait, are you sure this is a drama? Because I feel like it could be comedy, but I'm not sure.
He has inexplicable immortality.
I want that to be like my job description.
I know.
I'm gonna put that on my resume from now on.
Hey, buddy, if you're immortal, maybe don't question it. Maybe it's just good. Maybe go with that.
With it.
Yeah. All right. What do you think about this from the trailer?
Well, now that I'm laughing really hard, this is going well so far. I kind of like saw this as being like a Dracula 2.0, like the next version, since Dracula is no longer an option and we can't make coolant jokes.
Yes.
Now we make jokes about inexplicable immortality.
Oh,
and
I love it.
This poor guy and his weird life, and I'm kind of sold already. Like I really want to watch this.
It does. To its credit, it does seem more procedural than Dracula. It seems like it's kind of a case of the week thing. Like, of the millions of problems with Dracula, one of them is that it was so like unmoored. Like there was no anchor for it. Like episodes of Dracula would just go by and you'd be like, what happened? Like where?
I was like, is this linear? I don't think so.
Are there is this lost? Are there multiple timelines? Like like you would just go through an entire hour of Dracula and it's like, where's point A and point B? And so from forever, like the idea that he's a medical examiner seems to anchor the show a bit, and so that's good. Other than that,
that's a plus.
Yeah, that's a plus. I'm really trying here. This has been a bad start.
No, I think we're doing super, super well here. Just
yeah, we're doing great.
Keep it going.
I just to avoid going 3 for 3 with avoiding like the plagues, I'm going to give this one a might watch because it might be very funny.
I'm going to have to give this an I will watch. I think
nice.
Definitely with the pilot. If it goes downhill from there, then
yeah. Well, it does star. It does star someone who seems to be a fairly handsome fellow, which was Dracula's only selling point. And
besides his like 8 accents that he used,
yeah,
because those were always fun.
Yes. Yeah. Well, are you talking about Jonathan Rhys-Meyers' 8 American accents?
Are you British? Like, what? I know you're a vampire, but like, did you just get bored one day and just decide, you're going to be everything?
I think the backstory that I made up for the Dracula character is that he has only ever met one American in his life, and it was a man from Florida with a head injury, and so he patterned his accent after that guy.
He's like, I'm so bored. I've been alive for like 1,000 years. I need to like mix things up.
Yeah, it was an interesting choice.
It was a bold acting choice.
Bold acting choice, yeah. So we can only hope to have that kind of accent, that festival of bad accents with forever, which, I mean, it's it's something we can wish for. Okay, back to comedies, because next up is Blackish, a name that I am not comfortable saying.
Nope.
But it's described by ABC as Andre Dre Johnson has a great job, a beautiful wife, Rainbow, 4 kids, and a colonial home in the burbs. But has success brought too much assimilation for this black family? Olivia, what did you think?
I really liked it. I was watching it, and I think that ABC a lot of the times will like go for a very whitewashed version of like realistic situations. So it was really, really nice to see them actually bring in any sort of culture that's not just white people dressing in Prada and complaining about their lives. So I'm sold on it. I really like it. And I think they're approaching it in a way that it's very fresh and original, and they're not trying to like make it too like preachy and obnoxious.
The name worried me. As the selfish. I was like, oh no. But those worries were put to rest when I saw that the series is by Larry Wilmore of The Daily Show, a very smart and socially conscious and just sort of on the ball kind of guy. And so and then you watch the trailer and the 2 minutes that they posted, and they're both really funny and really smart. And so I don't know if this show is going to succeed commercially, because I feel like white people might not check it out. But
can't say that word outside my house. No.
Yeah, right. But I found this very funny, and I am very excited to say that this is my first will watch of the fall.
Yes, we are in agreement, because this is definitely on my will watch list.
Yes. All right. We're seeing the light. Okay. Next is the Shonda Rhimes series, How to Get Away with Murder, about the brilliant, charismatic, and seductive Professor Annalise Keating, who gets entangled with 4 law students from her class. Little do they know that they will have to apply what they learned to real life in this masterful, sexy, suspense-driven legal thriller. What did you think?
Well, I find it interesting that they have to put that it's going to be a sexy suspense.
Yeah.
And that they have to describe that the show is going to be sexy. I'm like, I don't know what to do with this information, but I'm curious now. And I'm a huge Viola Davis fan, so I was watching her in the pilot, and I think she is she's a brilliant actress.
Yes.
I have mixed feelings on it, honestly, because it looks like it could be a 50-50 deal, or, it could be, really amazing, or it can just be what it sounds like, a sexy, suspense-driven legal drama.
Yeah. It's really trying to be Scandal. It's really, trying to capture that, oh my god, what happened kind of vibe where Scandal sort of takes over the internet every Thursday night.
Right.
So it's it's going to air right after Scandal, and it's from the creator of Scandal, so it's it's trying to just be in that vein. I thought the trailer was fine.
Yeah.
Obviously having Viola Davis at the center of it is a big plus. You can certainly build any TV show around her.
Exactly.
I'm as someone who doesn't watch Scandal, I'm just not into that, so I probably won't watch, but that doesn't mean it won't be good. It's more just not my cup of tea.
I'm in the same, category as that.
So I will give it a might watch to stay neutral, because I'm avoid like the plague is too strong.
I'm the same way.
Okay.
If it's on, then 2 thumbs up, but it's not going to be on my queue.
Exactly. All right. Next up is Christella, described as in her 6th year of law school, Christella is finally on the brink of landing her first big, unpaid internship at a prestigious law firm. The only problem is that her pursuit of success is more ambitious than her traditional Mexican-American family thinks is appropriate, and it stars and is created by the comedian Cristela Alonso. What did you think?
Once again, I'm really happy to see more just diversity on the network. I think this is a really good stepping stone to have different representations of people, because it's really hard if you don't see it in mainstream media and that you're not being represented. It's why would you want to watch TV if it's just a bunch of white people running around and doing things? It's oh, thank you, we have Mexican American, we have African American. I think this is a really, really good starting point, and I liked it. I liked what I saw so far.
Yeah, it reminds me of, at least in premise, that NBC show that I'm trying to remember its name that premiered this year and was canceled after 4 episodes. It was a Tuesday night show about the daughter of a lower class white family and the son of a very successful, I believe, Mexican family elope. And those 2 families have to come together and live. It seems like one of those culture clash shows.
Yeah.
So what I think is the saving grace of Christella is that the star is also the creator and writer, and so the show has a more specific perspective than a sort of more kind of networky show where there's a bunch of cooks in the kitchen. This seems to be from one person's perspective, and I think that that's going to help the show going forward.
Yeah, I definitely think so.
Yeah. So I didn't love the trailer, but I also didn't hate it, and so I'll give it a might watch.
I feel the same way, definitely, where I wasn't super strong about it, but I'm excited to see, hopefully, it do well.
Yeah, it would be nice if that show did well, actually. Okay, so now we are into the mid-season premieres, starting with American Crime. described by the ABC website as all over the news are reports about a young couple in Modesto, California who were attacked in their home. The case sends shockwaves into the community, stirring up tensions across racial lines in this gritty drama. Race stuff, a big, a big thing on ABC this fall.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not gonna be a light summer
Yeah.
for some of these.
And this show looks dark.
And it was saying in the description, because I think they said it was from one of the writers from 12 Years a Slave.
Yeah.
So that should be a big tip-off that it's not going to be.
And the trailer was brutal and had some really killer stuff in it that even without the context was painful. It stars Felicity Huffman and Timothy Hutton, so I mean heavy hitters.
Yeah.
And seems like a very sort of serious, issues-driven drama that is kind of unlike anything on network TV that we're seeing right now.
That's what I'm excited about, because again, like, I think with television there are certain things that like you try to stay away from, and like literally it's in the description. It's like, oh good, they're stirring up racial tensions. Yeah. Like
right
great, that's awesome. But again, like it's something that if it, like you just shy away from it all the time, then like how are you going to know? So it's good to see a major network actually tackle this and not try to kind of brush it under the rug or try to like kind of water it down.
Yeah. And they've clearly put money behind it with the 12 Years a Slave writer and the cast that they have. So they're not half-assing it. You know,
Yeah.
this is a real effort to do something meaningful. So that's positive, and I'm going to at least watch the first episode, so I'll give it a will watch.
I feel the same way. I want to see exactly what we're dealing with here, and I'm excited to see something actually be spoken about in a serious light.
Yeah, not on cable either, like on a real
on a
network.
Exactly. You would think this would be like an HBO thing, but no.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Next is we're gonna just keep driving home the race point with Fresh Off the Boat.
It just keeps going.
It keeps going. ABC has a plan. You know, I mean, I'm not sure you could say that about the network the last few years, but you know, seeing these pilots all lined up one after another, they're clearly going in a certain direction. So Fresh Off the Boat is described as, it's the 90s and 12-year-old hip-hop loving Eddie just moved to suburban Orlando from DC's Chinatown with his parents. It's culture shock for his immigrant family in this comedy about pursuing the American dream.
Yeah. Again, I like what I've been saying before. I like that it's finally like we're getting representation on major cable and just pursuing the American dream. I hope they kind of don't try to make that into an actual thing, because if they do, I'm going to be really disappointed. I want it to be something that they're not going to be like, oh yeah, like they come to America and everything's like super amazing and great and awesome. That would be really disappointing.
Did you watch this trailer?
I watched part of it.
Yeah. This is the one I'm worried about, because it seems like it's going to be a lot of jokes that rely on Asian accents.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of jokes where like the punchline is that something is being said funny, and that's what I'm worried about. Like the great thing about Blackish is that it doesn't seem like the comedy is just strictly stereotypes or stuff like, you know, it seems like the comedy is smarter than that. And this Fresh Off the Boat, I'm sure there's some stuff smarter than that, but from the clips that I've seen, it looks like it's very like playing off stereotypes and doing that kind of stuff. So I like that it's an almost all Asian cast, and so I mean some real diversity, but I am worried that this one might be a little bit broad.
I really, I was watching part of it and I got that kind of impression. It was like that scene from A Christmas Story where they go to the Chinese restaurant at the end, and I was like, please don't do this. No. And then it happened.
Yeah. So I'll give it a generous might watch. just because I am still recovering from, I think, having 3 straight Avoid Like the Plagues to start this.
I was going to say, you're being generous. I'm going to be the Simon Cowell of this moment, okay. And I'm giving this Avoiding Like the Plague.
Fair. I already regret my decision. All right. Next up is a series that I think will be talked about a lot or will be quickly swept under the rug. It's one or the other. Gallivant. Dan Fogelman, Crazy Stupid Love Tangled in Cars, teams up with the award-winning musical duo of composer Alan Menken and lyricist Glyn Slater for a musical comedy fairy tale of epic proportions. What did you think of Gallivant?
Just taking a deep breath because I just came out of Once Upon a Time.
Yeah.
So-
And this is going to air in the mid-season break of Once Upon a Time in its time slot.
I know. I'm taking a deep breath.
This is for you, Olivia. This series is yours.
Oh, God, it's like they knew.
Yeah.
Like part of me is excited because like this is more my genre where I just watch these things because I can't help it, and it's like my fingers are like on the remote, and it's like the channel's already there, and I don't even know what happened. So. But I hope it's not going to be like a Rain situation, the CW's show Rain, because I remember watching that one and I thought it was going to be good. And then I was like, in what world is Scotland, England? Because like, I'm Scotland, and then she has a British accent, and I'm like, I'm so confused.
Listen. Rain had some historical problems. No one's going to deny that.
That is putting it lightly.
But this is a musical.
It is. So I think it's going to be good because musicals are supposed to be like over the top and a lot of colors. And with Rain, it didn't make sense that the entire thing looked like a Taylor Swift music video. But like with this sort of thing, it's like it's fine and it's kind of cool like to have something kind of light. Because again, we just came off of like 4 straight shows of it being like severe racial tension, and I'm like, oh my God, what do I do?
Yeah. First of all, Rain is the kind of series where I wouldn't have been surprised if they played Taylor Swift in the world of the show. Like,
right, they didn't have like one of the actresses start singing it.
Yeah, like they will quote Taylor Swift in the dialogue. Gallivant. First of all, I should preface this by saying I hate musicals. I am instantly in the mud. I have no interest at all in musicals. I don't watch any of them. I avoid them completely, like the plague. But what appealed to me about this trailer is that the show has a very clear sense of humor. And it is a comedy. It's a musical comedy, but I feel like the emphasis is on comedy. Like the songs were funny songs, and there were jokes, and the main character is sort of like he's like a famous knight, but he seems kind of lost or a little bit like comedically headstrong.
Yeah.
And I am pleasantly surprised that they took it in that direction, because I was fully expecting this to be a kind of sincere musical, and it doesn't seem to be that at all. It seems to be very light and funny, and that makes me at least a little bit interested, despite hating musicals.
I think that is, yeah.
So what do you?
Positive.
So what do you rate it on our scale?
I'm putting this on a will watch.
Fair. I mean, as someone who watches Once Upon a Time, I feel like you're obligated.
I don't have a choice. It sucked me in. I'm gone.
I am going to shockingly also give it a will watch. I am going to definitely watch the first episode because I want to see what it's about, and I think there's like a 25% chance that this series could be huge. You know?
Probably.
Like that Carrie Underwood thing on NBC, the Sound of Music, where yeah, I hear you're laughing. It was terrible, but everyone talked about it. And so this is the kind of sort of event television that might hit really big on Twitter. And so I'm going to definitely watch the first episode because I don't want to miss out on that, which is the sort of condition that we're all in 2014.
It's so true.
Okay, next up, a big one. Marvel's Agent Carter, which will premiere in the mid-season. It's 1946, and peace has dealt Peggy Carter a serious blow as she finds herself marginalized when the men return home from fighting abroad. Working for the covert SSR, Peggy must balance doing administrative work and going on secret missions for Howard Stark. What did you think of this one?
I am so sold on the show. It's ridiculous.
So your best friend and my dear friend Megan Haas, a writer for ShowRatings.tv, is a little bit of a fan of Haley Atwell. Slightly. Do you share her love of the lead of this series, or are you just excited because it's set in the Marvel universe?
Both. I mean,
Both.
Like Megan has her own level of like obsession going on that even I can't match. Like there's like fan level, and then there's Megan, which is unparalleled.
Oh, good.
But we watched it, Captain America together, and both of us were like, oh my god, because we also watched Pillars of the Earth, and like I love the actress and I loved her character, and I was like, I want to see her as her own standalone character doing more. And then when Megan, texted me and called me like 12 times telling me that she got her own series, I was like, I need to see this. Like this is the first thing on my queue to watch when it comes on.
Yes. This is going to be a potentially huge series, and what we can hope is that ABC learned from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and figures it out quicker, because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. premiered huge and then lost about 75% of its audience. And then, according to most reports, kind of figured itself out and is now pretty good, but that audience isn't coming back.
Yeah.
And so this show is going to premiere huge. And it better have a good first 2 episodes, or the same thing is going to happen. And
yeah, exactly.
So, Agent Carter, obviously, I feel like is a will watch for just about everybody.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right. Next up, 2 more shows left. Secrets and Lies. Described as Ben Garner is about to go from Good Samaritan to murder suspect after he discovers the body of his neighbor's young son in the woods. As Detective Andrea Cornell digs for the truth, the secrets and lies of this town come to the surface and no one is above suspicion. It stars Ryan Philippe? And, I don't know. And is a 1-season show. So this story isn't going to span multiple seasons. What did you think of the pilot, or the trailer, I should say?
It's another cop show. I'm hoping that it actually is good. I don't know. This isn't normally my genre, but
serialized serial killer mysteries, not your thing.
Yeah, weird how that works.
Yeah.
Is it a musical? Is it a fairy tale musical about cops?
Oh, I can only hope that at some point there's a musical. You don't watch Mad Men, do you?
No, I don't.
Okay, well, I'm still recovering from the finale, and there was a, let's just say, unexpected musical number that capped off the finale of Mad Men.
That's amazing.
So, anything's possible.
So, yeah, if it turns out, that we all of a sudden get, like, Alan Menken to come in and write a score for this poor guy becoming a murder suspect, I'll watch it, sure.
Yeah. This is bringing me back bad memories of The Killing. This feels very The Killing to me. And I'm sure it's going to be reasonably well done, but I don't know if I want to watch a series about a guy who is, I'm assuming, falsely accused of murder. That seems uncomfortable to me. Like, I don't
a little bit.
I don't like watching like 12 hours of injustice and like people throwing around false accusations and like, I don't know, I don't have a reason to watch this. I mean, maybe the pilot will be really good, but I don't know. It just seems a little bit upsetting to me.
Like Law and Disorder.
Yeah. Oh, I like it. That should have been the name.
How am I not working for these people? This is like my destiny happening right now.
Well, this podcast is your audition tape, so.
Yes.
So I'm gonna give this one an avoid like the plague. This I have no reason to watch this. It seems uncomfortable. It sounds like The Killing. Everything is wrong for me.
I'm not gonna watch this just because it's not. There's so many other like cop dramas on right now. Like we don't really need another one.
There's so much singing you can watch. All right, our last series, and we possibly, at least in my opinion, saved the best for last because it's The Whispers. Aliens have invaded Earth by using our most unlikely resource to achieve world domination, our children. As the kids unwittingly help these unseen enemies, the clock counts down in this suspenseful race to save humanity. What did you think of this one?
I mean, how could you not be hooked just based off of the description? Like,
this trailer scared me.
I'm actually pleasantly frightened.
Like, yeah, like there are so many like quote-unquote horror shows on TV that aren't even a little bit scary, most notably American Horror Story.
Thank you. And it's Lily Rabe, so at least she's trying this time.
Yeah. This trailer was scarier than just about anything on TV I've seen. This was just the idea that children's imaginary friends are actually aliens telling them to murder us is a great premise for horror.
Right? I'm like, now on, every time you see a child like looking like they're talking to themselves, just know that we're all doomed.
I know. And this was, I think, the best trailer of the ones we watched for ABC. And it seems like the kind of show that hopefully can sustain itself over the course of a season. That's always the concern with these like mystery shows. Like, did you watch V a few seasons back?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that show ran into trouble because it couldn't really sustain itself. Interesting idea. Aliens never quite got going. Canceled after 2 seasons, I think.
Right.
But at least right now, I am really excited about The Whispers.
I'm sold on the premise. I really hope that, again, like the writing and just everything else can back it up, but I'm sold.
Me too. So I am giving that obviously a going to watch.
Definitely.
Okay, so that does it for ABC. So to recap, Olivia, what are the pilot are you most excited about watching?
Probably Agent Carter.
Yeah, that's, I think, going to be the go-to choice and probably ABC's biggest show, at least to premiere in the fall or the spring. I guess I don't know when exactly it's going to premiere.
Yeah.
For me, I'll give it to The Whispers. That's a show that I want to watch and that I kind of wish was on this summer so that I would have something to watch. And what pilot, if you had to bet everything to your name on one pilot failing and being off the air after 3 episodes, what would it be?
Ooh.
Putting you on the spot.
Okay, all right. I'm going to have to give it to Manhattan Love Story.
Yep. We are lockstep on that.
Perfect. We're in complete agreement.
Manhattan Love Story is gone after 3 episodes.
Much fun as it would be to watch, a young man just stare at women's bodies all day.
Yeah. Well, listen, Mixology got a whole season, so who knows?
Thanks, network drama stuff.
Thanks, networks. All right, so Olivia, thanks so much for being our guest.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. How can people keep up with you?
I'm on Twitter. I'm at Richards Olivia. That is my Twitter handle.
Yes. And you write a bunch of stuff for showratings.tv. What are you going to be writing about this summer?
I am covering Under the Dome, which is the love of my life and also the bane of my existence.
Yes, watch the domes. Hashtag. All right, so that wraps up the first of these special pilot preview episodes. Check back again soon for the rest of the networks. You can listen to all the episodes of the showratings.tv Pilot Roundtable podcast at southgatemediagroup.com and read myself and Olivia's writing at showratings.tv. I'm on Twitter at KyleLovesTV, and you can follow Show Ratings at ShowRatingsTV. I've been Kyle Tremblay. Thanks for listening.